Well, hello, guys, and welcome. Only 3 more days to the launch of our study on developing the leader within you, developing that inner game, right? That's the entire study. That's what our entire study is about. And on Friday, you should have received an email with the PDF book with the line items or the line numbers on there that I'll be referring back to. And if you take a look at that, some of you may already have been looking through it, but it's really good. It's got some reflective questions at the end of each chapter, and feel free to start looking through that. But on Friday, I also sent out a video with the 5 key areas for your growth and to start thinking about that. And then on Saturday, should have received the 4 things about relationships. And then today, we're talking about the 3 key areas to understanding your financial. You see what I'm doing there? 5, 4, 3. Yeah. Here we go. And tomorrow we'll be talking about the two mistakes people will look whenever they're finding their purpose. 2 mistakes within that. And today we're looking at our finances. And it's really going to be a good study. Looking forward to it. But you should be receiving a growth sheet with this as well that you can follow along with. And I want to just kick us off there with, if you look on that first page, there's a quote there that's in the book, and it says, "Men." This is one of my favorite quotes, by the way, of all time. I love quotes, but this is so good. Listen to it. "Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound." Oh, that's good. "Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but they're unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound," right? We all want to have a better life, a better growth, better health, better wealth, all of that good stuff. But we tend to not want to do the things that are necessary to grow ourselves to be able to have that. And that also applies to our finances, which is what we're talking about today in the 3 key areas of our finances. If you look at page 2, this is another really good quote that it's a good quote, but don't really like, right? Because the quote says, "The world holds up a merciless mirror, reflecting back our character in our experiences," reflecting back our character in our experiences. So basically, think about that. Think about that. The world is a merciless mirror, and it's reflecting back to us our character through our experiences. That's really worth thinking about it. So if we're not liking what we're seeing, what is being portrayed to us, then we need to change what we are holding up. And that's exactly what this entire study is about, is working on that inner game. If we don't like the external circumstances and conditions, we need to change the internal, our internal game. Most of us, we want to change that external conditions, where it really starts from the inside, because the external is really just reflecting back to us what our internal character is. And so let's take a look. If you look on the 3rd page, and we'll start talking about the 3 key areas to understanding a sustainable financial growth. And that first one right there, I'll read this off to you. "It is very difficult to hold on to anything that you have not achieved through your own personal growth, and especially with our finances." You think about people who've won the lottery, right? They've just been given this money. They didn't do anything to earn it. It's just been given to them. And if you look at the history of the people who have won the lottery, how many of them become broke? How many of them become bankrupt, and they end up just a few years down the road, and they have nothing? It's because they haven't grown to that level. They haven't become a millionaire yet. They haven't become the type of person that knows how to handle that amount of money. If you've grown into that, if you've grown into a millionaire, you could earn $1 million and it all be taken away from you. But because you've become a millionaire, you'll be able to earn it again. You think about someone, it just comes to mind, or it's like Dave Ramsey. He's talked about he's gone bankrupt before, and what he's done to become a multimillionaire. You've heard other stories of people who are millionaires, but they've gone bankrupt, but they've earned it back. And it's because they've developed that inner character, that inner game, and they've become the type of person that is worth that. So, number two, if this is very interesting. This is a quote. I did not come up with this, by the way. I found this. And I've read it a couple of times, but it's just something to really consider here. If all the money in the world were divided equally between all the people in the world, it would not be long before it was back in the hands of the people who have it now. Think about that. If we took all the money in the world and we just divided it equally between everybody, you got a million, you got a million, you got a million, whatever, and it is divided equally, it wouldn't be long before it was back into the hands of the people who have the most money now, and the people who have the least, it wouldn't be long before they were back to the least. Again, is developing that inner game, that inner character. Number three, this one is a really good one. It is easier to earn money than to save it. One is self-exertion, the other is self-denial. And isn't that true, right? It's easier to go out and earn money. I mean, if you needed to go earn $50 today, you could go mow somebody's yard, right? You could go earn it. The one is self-exertion. It's working towards something. The other one is self-denial, right? Think about that. We've got money in our pocket. We're ready to spend that thing, right? Saving is denying that desire to spend, that desire to have and get something, right? It's putting it to the side, denying yourself. And it's much tougher. Those are three things I really want you to consider. Think about these questions here. How would you describe your attitude towards money? And really think about that. What is your attitude towards money? I think most of us, especially in the South, everybody that's in this study are from the South, and you don't really talk about money. Nobody ever teaches you how to deal with finances and deal with money. Most people think that money is bad. Money is not bad. Money is not good or bad. It's an inanimate object, right? And it's your attitude towards money that's really at the heart of it. If you say, well, I don't really care about money, I don't really need money. Well, if you're not cared for, or if you're not needed, are you going to go where you're not cared for and needed? Think about that. Well, what is your attitude towards money? And what's your relationship towards money? You can also be on the other side where I've got to have money, I need money, and just grasping for money. And if it's all about money too, I'm telling you, you're gonna lose it, right? You're gonna lose it. What is your attitude towards money? Do you have an attitude towards money? And these are self-reflective questions that you really just sit in the question and consider for yourself. Not what you think other people think you should think, but you yourself. What is your attitude towards money? Think about the areas of financial struggle or frustration in your life. What would it take to permanently solve those challenges? Think about that. The areas where you're struggling financially, or that's just really frustrating for you in your life or for you and your family, what would it take to just completely get rid of those challenges? Think about that. And then the last question, are there any reoccurring patterns that you are able to identify with your finances? And what would it take to change those patterns? If you look back over the course of your life, do you notice some patterns? Are there times where you tend to spend more? Are there things that you tend to spend your money on? Are there things that you wish that you could have that you don't have because you won't take action to earn that or get that, or maybe you know that you need to save and you saved for a time and then you stop. Just take a look back at your life and what are some recurring patterns that you see whenever it comes to your finances, and what would it take to change those patterns? A couple other studies that I do on just overall leadership, we talk about that you hear the saying that experience is the best teacher. Well, experience is not the best teacher. Evaluated experience is the best teacher, because when you take the time to sit back and evaluate, it allows the lessons to catch up with you, right? So really evaluate your life, and what are some patterns that you're seeing. So I hope you take some time today to really go through that. I'm looking forward to our launch. We're only 3 days out. Look forward to your bonus video tomorrow on the 2 mistakes people have whenever it comes to finding their purpose. Also, it's not too late. If you have a friend or family that you think would like to join our study, it's not too late. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day. God bless. I'm really looking forward to our launch call on Wednesday. Thank you guys.